Haruki Murakami was born in 1949 in Kyoto, Japan. He was the only child in the family. His father was the son of a Buddhist priest and his mother was the daughter of a merchant from Osaka, both of whom taught Japanese literature. He had a keen interest in school from the beginning but was not well off as a child because Japan had not yet recovered from the heavy casualties of World War II in those years. In any case, Haruki Murakami spent his childhood in a school. In 1968, he was admitted to University of Performing Arts, where he could show his art well. He had not yet finished university when he married his wife Yoko in 1971. I tried to find someone I was interested in and I did anyway, even though it was not common for my peers to get married, he said. But I wanted to live my own style and eventually I married Yoko and I feel very happy and satisfied about that. After finishing school, they find a job that suits their characteristics and after several years of working, it's their turn to form their family and marriage, says Haruki Murakami in defining the lives of Japanese people. Subscribe our YouTube channel to watch the rest of this video and more. I wanted to pursue the same goal and lead a normal life just like ordinary people in Japan because I thought it was the right way to live, says Murakami. But I got married first and then I went to work and as a result I managed to graduate in the field I wanted. My way of life was completely different from other Japanese because I lived the way I wanted to. He proves to us while successful people are ambitious to achieve their goals and dreams. Murakami is a marathon runner who enjoys the sport, although he did not start until he was 33 years old. On June 23, 1996, he held his first ultramarathon, a 100-kilometer race around Lake Sarama in Hokkaido, in Japan. He recounts his relationship with running in a memoir he wrote in 2008 in a book called What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. Haruki Murakami's biography states that he wrote one of his most important books in 1978 while watching a baseball game. He wrote Hear the Wind Sing when the first idea came to him during the baseball game. He worked on the book for the year and published it in 1979. The publication of this book was a great success for Haruki Murakami. He won the Gonzo New Writer Award shortly after the book was published. After that, it was time to write the trilogy. In 1980, Haruki Murakami wrote the novel Pinball, the first part of the trilogy. The highly successful sale of this trilogy paved the way for Murakami in world literature and introduced him to lovers of fiction novels around the world. The narrative style of Haruki Murakami's stories is beyond realism and magical realism, one of the most famous style which has high sales due to its many charms. I got married before I finished college and I didn't have much money to live on, Murakami said of the hardship he endured during his lifetime. This lack of money made me and my wife work like two slaves for 3 years in a row, and we did everything you can think of, and in the meantime we saved as much as we could. Then with the help of money I borrowed from friends and acquaintances, my wife and I started a small coffee shop around Tokyo. It was 1974 when I started a coffee shop and it was much easier to set up and manage a coffee shop at that time. Every young person I saw around me ran away from working in companies and tried to start his own business, no matter how small, and do what he loved. The cafe I had was the hangout of groups of young college students who spent their afternoons, and I sometimes chatted with them and got to know the thinking of different people from different walks of life. In 1987, with the publication of The Norwegian Wood, he wrote a story about nostalgia and loss which achieved great success and national recognition. The book sold millions of copies to young Japanese people. The book focuses on the anonymous Murakami, who then leaves Japan. I was a famous writer when I left Japan in 1986 or 1987, he said, but some people thought I ran away for fame. but I just wanted to look at everything alone and from bottom of my heart, because in Japan I was very well known, but in Europe I was nobody. Murakami traveled from Europe to the United States, lived in the United States and now lives in Oiso, Kanagawa, a residential area in Japan, with an office in Tokyo. Haruki Murakami is nominated for the Nobel Prize in the Literature every year as a Japanese writer, but to date he has not won the honor. His books and short stories have sold well in Japan as well as internationally and have been translated into 50 languages. Millions of copies have been sold abroad. His work has received numerous awards, including the World Fantasy Prize, the Frank O'Connor International Prize for Short Story, the Franz Kafka Prize, and the Orchalin Prize. The most important works of Murakami's are A Wild Ship Chase, The Norwegian Wood, and Kafka on the Shore.